Okay, and we're streaming.
Great, thank you, Sian. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you at this special meeting of Cabinet on a sunny Tuesday morning. Before we move into the agenda, a couple of reminders for us. The first is please feel free to speak through this meeting in English or Welsh. We have translation available, so you're able to select your language of choice at the bottom of the Zoom call if you're on Zoom with us this morning. That allow the translation to happen. So thanks for that. And then second reminder is, of course, this meeting is being live streamed. So if for any reason you need to leave the meeting, please remember to put yourself on mute and switch your camera off. That'd be great. Thank you. So onto the agenda. First item is apologies for absence. Do we have any apologies this morning, Sian?
No apologies received, Leader.
Thanks. You, Andy, do you want to say?
Yes, thanks, Leader. I need to leave the meeting about 11 o'clock.
No problem. Thank you very much. Okay, item 2 is declarations of interest. Just to remind us all to declare the existence and nature of any interests this morning. Is there anything that anybody needs to declare straight away? No. Okay. If there is something you need to declare, please remember to do that through the course of the meeting. The third is urgent matters. There's none for us to discuss this morning. 4 is an item from the Economic Development Portfolio, Councillor Gronwy, and it's the Llanrwst Library and Glastir Hub, page 3 through to 14. Gronwy, can I hand over to you to talk us through this? You're on mute at the moment.
Yes, Sam, thank you, Leader. Yes, the President present this report to members. It's a report on the Llanrwst Library and Glastir Hub. As you can see on page 3, Glastir Business and Conference Centre was handed back to the authority in December 2020. Now, this building was opened in 2007 with extremely high hopes of delivering a vision as a rural resource centre. Prior to that, Councillor Jenks will remember well, it was the old picture house, was built there for many, many years. And after that, we had a Quicks there, and that Quicks came to an end. I can't remember which year, but it was got into a bit of a state, and Conway acquired it and demolished it. And we set about getting the monies to build the rural resource centre there. And it fulfilled a very useful function for many years. Unfortunately, COVID at the start of the year meant that they almost had to cease trading due to the restrictions, and their cash flow dried up, which inevitably meant that they couldn't carry on. They had staff to consider, and they handed the lease back in a timely manner in order to conclude their business appropriately. So since then, we've been looking into the future of the Glastir building as well as the surrounding location. And from that, the proposition before us now is to move the library. It says 100 metres across the road. In the report, it's less than that, it's probably less than 50 metres actually across the road to the Glastir building, along with other services that we've shown an interest in locating there. And I think it will be an excellent resource and use of that building going forward into the future. So there has been a consultation period which has just come to an end, and it also has gone through Cabinet for match funding for the TRI funding. We obviously significant elements of the cost of the relocation of the library and things will be covered by the TRI funding, and we have a tentative offer that the TRI funding is available, subject to us approving this today. So, and we have quite a bit of a time constraint because ideally we have to spend about 130,000 of that TRI monies before the end of the month. But I'm assured by officers they are confident that we will get approval today. It will be tight. I'd like to thank all the officers that put the report together in a very short period of time. And if you go on to page 4, there we have the recommendation. I'm happy to answer any questions. The result of the consultation is on a separate document as well. I'm sure that Mark will talk us through that if members want to deal with that now or after we've taken this resolution. Over to you for any questions.
Great, thank you, Councillor Gronwy. I see Councillor Mark, you've got your hand raised. You want to come in on this?
Hello, thank you. My internet's very poor today, so if I went on camera, I'd probably freeze. But I just wanted to second Councillor Garonway's support option 3, which is the preferred option. As Councillor Garonway has said, there has been a consultation which ran for the whole of February. We had about 179 responses, and it was overwhelmingly in support of the library being moved to Glastir. It's also, I think, very heartening to see how important the library is within the community of Llanrwst and how valued it's been. And particularly during the pandemic, it just reaffirms how important library provision is for our communities. And I think moving forward, this will create a great facility for the Conwy Valley and for the town of Llanrwst. So I'm very happy to support Councillor Garonway. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments on the report from anybody at all, please? I've got Flynn, do you want to come in at this point? And I got Emma and Charlie.
Yes, Leader. Just to confirm, you know, that the actual report before you and the recommendation is to move the library. There are other issues about considerations that will need to be considered over time in relation to the offer within the new building. But just to be clear, that the recommendation before you today is to move the library from the present location to the new location.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you very much. Councillor Emma, then Charlie.
Thank you, Leader. Indeed, it's really heartening, isn't it, as Councillor Mark has said, that the library has such a positive impact on that community. And I think it's a really positive move for it to just hop across the road, so to speak. I noticed within the report there's talk of the first thing being working out the reconfiguration of the building itself, but note that actually what we're actually talking about today is, as Rhian has said, confirming that we or not wish to move it. So I think it's really positive, fully support it. So thank you for bringing this.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Emma. Councillor Charlie.
Thank you, Lydia. Yeah, I'm really supportive of this. Just interestingly, the last time I spent much time in the library was actually at Deeside Leisure Centre. I'd taken my kids ice skating, and there was a library within the building, so it gave me a perfect excuse not to ice skate, but for busy people who are doing other things, to be able to spend an hour or two looking at the books and using the facilities whilst the kids are doing other things, I think was really, really positive. We know libraries are incredibly valuable for people, but we're also very busy people, so having that facility somewhere, again, the hours I would spend at leisure centres when kids were having swimming lessons and things, to have a facility there we could do that would be really good. So I think it's a positive move. We've seen the letter from Llanrwst Town Council, and as Rhian said, this is purely about the library. There is sort of caveats about other things moving forward, but there'll be plenty of time to discuss these as we move forward. So I'm very supportive of this in principle. Thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you. Councillor Gron, we want to come back in?
Yeah, basically support everything the members have said. And certainly, as far as the future of the building, there are many options that we'll need to come back to as for consideration. We've seen over the years many things lost in Llanrwst, such as the banks have closed. So there's a lot of opportunity to look at this building that could achieve quite a number of functions that will be of benefit, not just to Llanrwst, but for the whole of the Conwy Valley. So I think it's looking forward to a very sustainable future for the building. I'd just like to thank Anne Lloyd Williams, who's done all the work on the library elements of it, and also Barbara on the funding side, along with Ellen, and Sarah for geeing along since she's taken on the role as well. So thank all the officers that have been involved.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Sarah, do you want to come
in? Thank you, Leader. Yes, I just wanted to pick up on what Councillor McCreevy said, and I think that's a really brilliant example, having a library with an ice rink. And certainly, as members will note from the consultation, we were asking people what else they would like to be able to do in their library, and we had some really positive responses to using the library for more than just getting their books. So lots of things that libraries are already doing within the county. Our teams are already doing all sorts of diverse work, and certainly one of the things we'll be considering as we look at the use of the building is how do we co-locate services and make this a really thriving hub. And I just think it's a fantastic opportunity for us to move what's already a successful library. You know, it was lovely to see those great comments about our library staff in the feedback from the questionnaire. So to move into a building that's going to be fit for purpose, light and airy, and with co-located services is really exciting. So thank you for considering this, members.
Good stuff. Thank you, Sarah. So I can't see anybody else wanting to speak. So just before I go on to recommendations as they've been moved, just a couple of bits from my side. So really pleased with this. I think it's been a really good piece of work for Llanrwst and supporting services in a rural community. Just in terms of the wider project around Glastir, just need to make sure that once this move does take place, actually that the wider scoping continues to take place and that engagement is happening with the relevant people. Forgive me if it's just slipped my mind. Is there a specific project board or something working through this? Gromi, did you want to, or Sarah, somebody remind me?
We do have a project set up to just for the library moving, but we are also working on setting up a programme board for Llanrwst. So that will be coming before members soon.
Yeah, great. Okay, good. And that's that'll be really, good to ensure that we're considering lots of elements of this, because it's pulling it all together, which is going to be the trick in the long run, isn't it? So, okay, good. A second piece from my side, I believe the chair of the council has agreed for this decision today to not be subject to calling. So just, I think in terms of our decision making, we just need to at least acknowledge that. So if I go to the recommendations, so Councillor Gromi's moved, is seconded by Councillor Mark. That following the outcome of the public consultation, we agreed to the relocation of Llanrwst Library into Glastir, and that the appropriate works are implemented following grant approval from Welsh Government, and that this decision is not subject to calling in line with agreements from the chair of the council. Okay, is there anything else we need to add to that recommendation for anybody? No, okay, so it's been proposed and seconded. Call Cabinet, show their hand please in favour. Excellent, it's all been moved. Thank you very much. Okay, so next item on the agenda is item 5, which is for us to consider passing a resolution under the provisions of section 100A(4) of the Local Government Act 1972 to exclude the public and press from the meeting during the consideration of the next item, which is the contract award for Old Colwyn coastal defence and active travel improvements. Would somebody like to move that we?
I move that.
Can I second it, Greg?
Leader.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody in favour of that, please? Okay, thank you. Reasons are outlined in the report, so that's been moved.
If you
John.
just bear with us and I will let you know when you can carry on.